Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this from Zoom. The next leg up, most of the shillers will tell you this is just the beginning. I call BS. This next run-up will be the last run-up for this cycle, and then the top will be in. It's highly likely that the top will be in within the next 50 days. Markets have been anticipating rate cuts throughout this bull run, with 91% now expecting them in September, and I believe that's around when the cycle top will form. I think maybe the top comes in for Bitcoin then, but I don't think the top for XRP is coming in September. The ETFs are not even set to be approved until October. Regulatory clarity is also coming sometime between October, November, or December. Regulations are on the way, ETFs are on the way, and people are already thinking the top is going to come in sometime next month. I'm just not seeing it, not for XRP. What's your thoughts on that? Put it in the comments section down below. Bale says the next few months will be critical for XRP. You will either become a millionaire or get shaken out. I think a lot of people are going to sell too soon based on everybody calling the top time and time again. We're going to see XRP reach $7, $8, $9, and people are going to say, that was it, that was the top, only to watch it dip back or pull back a little bit and then bounce even higher. Because there's too many catalysts this time around, and I will stick to that. Because the catalysts are big catalysts. It's not just like news coming from one company. This is regulations for the first time in the United States. This is ETFs for the first time for XRP. This is going to be game changing. XRP futures on CME breaks records with all-time high open interest surge. The futures are absolutely showing you what's going to happen with the spot ETFs. Over the past 3 months, cumulative trading volume in these contracts surpassed 251,000 contracts, translating to a notional volume of $9.02 billion and an average daily volume of $143.2 million. The total XRP equivalent traded reached 12 million. Now think about that. $143.2 million as a daily average. $30 million just moved XRP by 30 cents. And this is daily volume, 9 billion over time. So if you look at this and you use this as a gauge for the spot XRP ETFs, and we already know about the market multiplier, this is going to be huge. This could get XRP well above $50 in this cycle. This comes from Dark Defender. XRP above $3.61 will be pretty crazy. Supports at $2.85, $2.93, and $3. You know the targets. September, November, and remember. So we know where our supports are for XRP. But I cannot wait until we break above $5. There's nothing but air after $5 for XRP. Most people don't even think XRP can achieve $5 plus. So when it happens, you could expect the price of XRP to surge very fast. Think of the FOMO money as well pouring into this cryptocurrency. And I got to remind you again, there's a lot of scams out there. This is one of those scams. Take a listen to AI Brad tell you what's going on.
This wasn't a battle we chose, but we won it together. To celebrate, I'm launching the Ripple Reward Program 100 million XRP airdrop pool created for the XRP community. Follow the instructions at xrpfunds.com. Thank you, XRP family.
If you see this QR code, don't click on it because you will lose your crypto. There's no XRP airdrop. No one's doubling your XRP bag. This is a scam, and this is going to amp up when the price of XRP amps up as well. I don't want you to lose your crypto. We are way too freaking close now for you to lose your crypto. I want you all to get life-changing money over the coming months. But you got to keep your crypto safe and don't interact with the bots on this channel. I still see people doing it. I'm not going to send you a WhatsApp. Those are bots and they're looking to steal your crypto. Don't talk to the bots and keep your crypto safe. And now all of a sudden, there's the idea of ETH flipping Bitcoin. Take a listen to Tom Lee here.
Project Crypto from the SEC and Genius Act is saying Wall Street, take advantage of this new technology to make Wall Street a tech industry. But they're all choosing to do it, or the majority are choosing to do it on Ethereum. Ethereum is a smart contract platform and has what they call EVMs, Ethereum virtual machines. So you can do basically a lot of smart programs and contracts. That's where Robinhood is doing their stable coins, the tokenized products on top of Ethereum.
How big could ETH get? How I hate the term market cap because it's not applicable. Your company has a market cap. ETH doesn't have a market cap. Has a market size.
It has a network value.
What is the current value of all the ETH in the world? How big do you think it could get? Because working backwards, that's what the 5% stake in ETH, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
so what do you think?
It's about 480 billion right now of fully diluted network value.
Okay.
But
is the supply contracting or not yet?
It's actually growing about 1%.
Growing 1%.
It's slower than Bitcoin's inflation rate.
Okay.
It's actually a third of Bitcoin's inflation rate.
Okay. How big do you think that could be?
Well, I think that there is a very high probability, I'm going to say maybe even 50%, that Ethereum's network value will flip Bitcoin's.
Now, here's what's crazy about this. He sees ETH flipping Bitcoin. We all see XRP flipping ETH. So think about that. What's going to happen next? And even the articles are calling for this to happen. Bitcoin's weakness versus Ethereum's strength. On-chain data reveals divergence. So they always come out with these articles once Tom Lee or the mainstream media shifts the narrative. Remember, it used to be Bitcoin only, but now we're starting to see the narrative shift towards ETH. Soon, when XRP flips Ethereum and in market cap, all the mainstream media will shift towards XRP. Then there will be talk of XRP flipping Bitcoin's market cap. And there's a good chance it could happen in this cycle. And I got to remind you, there are ETH spot ETFs. And I think that's what's going to help ETH flip Bitcoin if it was to happen. But I still think XRP has the capability of flipping both of them, because we are also on the verge of CBDCs going live. We're also on the verge of ISO as well, and I still think ISO is going to be a game changer for XRP. Then you start to look at the ETFs and so on, and institutional adoption, which is going to lead to mass adoption. So everything that we're seeing now points at XRP, not ETH. But they're expecting alt season to begin. That's why the narrative is shifting towards Ethereum right now. So expert says XRP rally to $3,000 would only make a few people rich, and here's why. Now, what he's talking about is all the wallets out there that are holding 20 XRP. Some are only holding 7 XRP, where others are holding maybe 50 XRP. But there's a lot of those wallets out there, and a lot of those wallets have been sitting around for a number of years now. But you got to look at the big picture here. If XRP was to go to $3,000, most people, most retail investors that just entered this space are going to make a hell of a lot of money. People that have been buying the dips ever since 2018, even before then, they're going to be billionaires when this happens. But he is right. A lot of people are also going to sell way too soon. There's going to be so many people out of XRP even before we reach $100, because people are going to be selling all the way up. But you're also going to have new buyers entering this space at the same time. So think about it like this. Say XRP was to go to $10 right now. A lot of people have a game plan that they plan to stick to where they sell around $9.80. But at the same time, real FOMO is going to be happening as well. There's going to be new buyers at $10 plus. There's going to be buyers at $20 plus, $50 plus, and so on. But as long as you stick to your game plan, if your game plan is for XRP to go to $100 and then you start to take some profit, stick to that game plan. Because everybody right now is saying XRP maybe hits $7 to $10 in this cycle. But most of those people are looking at charts, looking at previous cycles, still stuck on market cap and not looking at the big picture. They're not looking at everything that's building around this cryptocurrency. And then there's this. Ripple's latest move could alarm JP Morgan and excite XRP investors. So what they're talking about is Gemini going to Ripple for that line of credit. So this tension reflects what the pundit describes as a clash between the old and new financial infrastructure. Ripple's development has not gone unnoticed by traditional finance. Industry groups such as the ICBA and NCRC, along with major banks including JP Morgan and Bank of America, have voiced opposition to Ripple's bank charter application. These older banks don't want Ripple to get that license because they're already witnessing these companies turning to Ripple instead of turning to them for a line of credit. Do you honestly think JP Morgan would have extended a line of credit to Gemini? Most likely not. They want to keep everything in the past. They make money off this traditional system, off the current system. They don't want to see the new system come, and that's why they're still trying to hold Ripple back. And this comes from Jake Claver. It's clear XRP is at the point where institutional money, mass adoption, and real-world utility meet. The community stayed strong through the challenges. Now big players are moving in. Here are the key points shaping XRP's future. Institutional interest. When large financial players show interest, adoption tends to follow. XRP's speed, scale, and low costs make it ideal for cross-border payments at size. They're going to use this token to move their own money. That's the difference between XRP and Ethereum, XRP and Bitcoin. Because these institutions, they could utilize the token for its actual use case. Tokenization, it's growing fast and could explode as regulations unlock trillions in digital asset value. The XRP ledger is already partnered, integrated through Ripple payments, and battle-tested. That's why they'll choose XRP ledger when it comes to tokenization. He also cites stablecoins. Ripple's RLUSD has NYDFS approval and MiCA compliance, ready for institutional use, with Axelar and Wormhole, adding interoperability. The XRP ledger can connect to more assets and dApps, boosting its network effect. XRP is positioned at the crossroads of tokenization, cross-border payments, and stablecoins, three massive markets. Picture a near future where stocks, real estate, and digital money trade instantly without middlemen. The XRP ledger is built to be a premium solution for exactly that. Plus, Ripple has custody. They're a one-stop shop for tokenization. Plus, they have a bridge currency that can move those tokenized assets from one person to another, one country to another. That's what's really game-changing about where we are right now as XRP investors. We are going to get rich off of this. All you got to do is sit back, stay patient, stay positive, and we will get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.